Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Sold Sign Real Estate Unplugged. We are your hosts and favorite realtors, Lauren
and Naya.
and we are so happy that you guys are back with us. So we're going to get right into our story of the week.
All right. So a couple decided to sell their home to move closer to family, but they wanted to make some updates to increase the value before listing. With some basic handyman skills, the husband felt confident to save money by doing the work themselves. They decided to tackle the kitchen and bathroom, repainting cabinets, retiling the bathroom, and updating some fixtures. Feeling even more ambitious, he attempted to rewire new light fixtures, and replace old plumbing under the sink, despite limited knowledge in these areas. The couple spent weeks on the renovations, and although the home looked refreshed, a few of the upgrades weren't done correctly. The husband didn't secure the plumbing properly, causing a small leak in the bathroom, and the electrical work was not up to code. They thought everything was fine since no issues had come up yet, and they listed the home. Soon, a buyer expressed interest and put in an offer contingent on an inspection. However, the inspector flagged the DIY electrical and plumbing work, noting that both posted potential safety risk. The buyers hesitated, unsure of the home's safety, and used the inspection findings to negotiate a lower price. Even worse, the couple was required to hire licensed professionals to bring the work up to code before the sale could proceed, costing them far more than if they had hired professionals from the beginning. The sale was delayed, and they ultimately netted less than they anticipated from the sale because of the repairs. In the end, the couple learned that saving money by cutting corners had actually cost them more, both financially and in terms of stress. They regretted not hiring experts to handle critical updates, as it would have allowed them to list sooner, sell faster, and potentially for a higher price.
Well, we've seen this a lot.
Yes.
Feel like it's just in life in general, we see this quite a bit. And especially when a seller is looking to sell their home and save some money on some costs that they were not expecting, but it's going to cost you more in the end.
Yeah, what would you say are like safe DIY things people can do themselves?
Changing knobs on countertops.
Okay, yeah,
Like,
that's a good one.
that looks like a good
that's
refresh.
a nice aesthetic for the kitchen.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a refresh.
Painting?
Nope.
No.
I don't know. Because if you don't tape, right? Like, if you don't
no, that's for real.
tape it well, and it could also be a lot longer than what is anticipated. So we could be pushing closing back, or not closing, but the list date back a little bit more. So me personally, I would say no to paint. What do you say about paint?
Okay, this is what I say. I think if it's a small, let's say it's a small powder room,
Okay.
and if you aren't, now don't decide you want to paint like the same month that is also like when you want to live.
Right.
But if it's like, okay, winter or fall, and you're like, we know next spring we're going to list. Okay, fine. You're off a little bit for winter break. You want to play and paint the bathroom. I think that's fine. And then you still have time if like, it didn't go well. But I think something small and a larger time frame is okay. But yeah, if you need to list in 2 months and you need to get stuff done and prepare the house, like, don't be trying to paint now.
The living room. Like,
the biggest, like,
right,
don't
you
do
walk
that.
in and it's like, oh, you could tell this was like a
that's
DIY project. Like, no.
Anything else? I'm trying to think too. What about the repainting the cabinets?
I don't know, because not all cabinets can be repainted.
Yeah,
It depends on like what kind you have. It can make it look like cheaper. Then you may have to take them off. They need to dry.
Yeah, that's probably
I don't know. Like, maybe changing out appliances, but this still not like DIY. I mean, you were going to purchase them, but I would still have somebody come in and replace them. So
very limited on the DIY.
I am just maybe because my thought process, like, I can't do half of this stuff, but I can change out some cabinet knobs. I can change out locks on the door.
Yeah.
But big things that I know an inspector is probably going to flag.
Yeah.
And we also don't know like what kind of buyer is coming in. Does this buyer have FHA financing or like VA financing where they are like looking at everything with a fine-tooth comb? I don't know. I don't know.
That's a very good point.
Because you can do DIY things. Like, you're good at that. Where I'm like, I'm not. I will hire somebody in a heartbeat.
Yeah, no.
Or hire my husband. He's good at that, but I can't. No.
I think, I don't know. I feel like painting is one I might be lenient on if there's time.
Yeah.
And maybe if I've seen a room that you've already painted and it looks all right.
That's fair.
But
I feel like that's fair.
like electrical stuff.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
He was a little risky with that one. But yeah, so probably not too many DIY things you should do on your own, especially if you're trying to list quickly and you want to really get the most profit. You know, you don't want to cut corners and you just want to sell. You want it to really present well from the get-go. Then go ahead and just hire the professional, and that way it does take off some of that pressure from you too, because you'll know it'll be right and it'll present really well and you won't have an issue with it.
Same. So. And then lighting. I would change out lighting fixtures.
Yeah,
probably myself. If it wasn't too high up, like if I need to change out a ceiling fan to make it more modern, then I would probably. I think I could change that out. Yeah, like I could change out. Yeah, I don't think I would have a problem with that. Now, if it's recessed lighting, that's a different story. I don't think I could change out the cans. But if it's just a quick light bulb and I'm changing out a fixture, I think I can do that. I want to ask about two more things. Backsplash. Would you do your own backsplash in your kitchen?
Okay. No.
No? Okay.
Long story short, no, because I played with tile and like backsplash, and I did not enjoy it.
Oh.
It was nice to see how it's done. Yeah. But I did not enjoy it as like a DIY project that like brings me peace and joy and I am committed to do. Absolutely not.
Good to know, because I haven't tried that. So now that you're saying that, I will not attempt it.
I'll maybe try some adhesive, because they have like some, I guess, pretty advanced like adhesive backsplash kind of things that is like pretty peel and stick, but like actually doing the mud and nope, not me.
You wouldn't do that.
Okay. I don't think I have the patience for it. But if somebody like is really into that, no, maybe not. Maybe not for listing. But again,
okay, yeah, not for listing.
If it's your house, then different. You are like, okay, I'm taking my time and I'm doing my own little touch-ups. Yeah, not for listing. I don't think anybody will have the patience for listing. I just
That's fair. That's fair. And then plumbing, because we talked about electrical, we talked about painting, floors, absolutely not. I wouldn't even go. No. I wouldn't even do floors. Like, we're not even going to touch on that. But I'm thinking like plumbing when it comes to like kitchen. Like if I'm changing out
a faucet,
okay. That's what I'm thinking. Like, would you change out a faucet?
I think that's doable. Okay. I think that's maybe, obviously it's with plumbing, but like kind of on the lines of like you changing out the knobs, because it's like an aesthetic thing. So it should be simple enough. I think that's okay.
Okay. All right, we got some good DIY things, but ask your realtor first before you just start knocking things off and like, oh, I want to put this wallpaper in. No, you don't. Ooh. We're not. No, I won't stop.
Yeah, because that's the thing too about what you are going to like refresh or renovate so that the home presents well. You want to also make sure that you're not wasting time and money on stuff that doesn't matter to like the value of the home.
Yep.
Why are we looking at wallpaper?
You should have did that while you were living there.
The wallpaper is not going to seal the deal for a buyer.
At all.
It might break the deal.
Yeah, right.
Like, please, if you're looking to refresh something, we're not looking at wallpaper to do that.
No, we're actually looking to remove the wallpaper that you have, to be honest. Sorry.
Yes, exactly. So don't even waste your time with wallpaper. So, yeah.
I agree. Okay. So we're talking about hiring. So we're gonna hire some people.
Yeah, definitely hire a licensed professional.
Yeah. And your realtor, I'm sure would have some resources to provide you with those professionals so that you can get those things done in a timely manner, especially when you guys are trying to list, whether it's the repairs from the inspection or before you even list the house. And then we have the option too with our brokerage that they can come in, the painters, anybody, any contractor can come in, do the work first, and then you as the seller would pay them after you sell the house, and they will come out of the proceeds of the sale.
Yeah, and that is like such a great program to take advantage of. So
sellers
we're
love
glad
that.
to have that.
Yeah. I like we get a lot of listings from that because we offer that, and not a lot of people do. And some sellers just don't have the cash to put up front. And we understand that. And we may come in and say, hey, listen, you may need staging, you may need new floors, you may need paint. And they may say, well, I don't have, $15,000 to put up front.
Right.
Well, we will do that, and then you would just pay back once the sale closes.
Right.
So that just helps.
And again, these are for like mostly things that are going to help with your return on the investment.
Right.
So, if we're doing things for kitchen and bathrooms, and you're paying it back at the closing, you probably were able to sell the house at a nice price as well too. So it all works out.
Yeah. I agree. What do you feel are some things that you would recommend a seller to do to their home to increase the value to sale?
Honestly, just anything in the bathroom and the kitchen. Like that's, having nice stainless steel appliances, nice countertops, vanity and like finishes in the bathroom. I think bathroom and kitchen are pretty much like always safe, I think, places to renovate for a good return.
Yeah. I agree for sure. And then floors.
And the floor. That's
because that can mess up a whole deal. Like the floors or carpet looks, raggedy, but everything else is okay. It's like, what is happening here? So yeah, I agree. Especially floors, bathroom, and kitchen.
Yeah, floors, bathroom, and kitchen. Yep. And then of course, if you are like this couple, if you are going to take on some DIY things, you have to consider, again, the cost of that to you. So really take a moment. Is the cost of you doing these things DIY, the cost of your time and probably stress, is that going to be worth it versus letting a professional do it? And again, knowing that it's fine and that you didn't cut corners. So if you are going to do it yourself, be prepared for whatever that's going to cost you, in addition to the other things, the other costs that you may have as you're preparing to list and, just going through the process, getting to the closing table. So, yeah.
I like when they said being contingent on an inspection. So like contingent means that if you are a buyer and you decide to purchase a house, you are going to most likely get an inspection. Well, before you get that inspection, you're putting in your offer that you will purchase the house as long as the inspection meets your needs and everything is well with the inspection. And if it's not, then you have the right to get out of the house. So that's pretty much what contingent means. And it seems like we always tell sellers, think like an inspector, because you don't want to come back later. You know that an inspector is going to say, hey, your HVAC is older, it's not working, or your water heater is not working, or like something major, your refrigerator, your stove's not working, one of the burners aren't working. If you know these things in the beginning, just get them fixed up front. So that way you don't really have to worry about it. And you don't have this long list when a buyer comes in to buy your house and now you're like, oh, I guess we have to get it done. Let's just get it done now. You know that burner has not been working for 2 years. Let's go ahead and get it fixed. Bring somebody in. We'll fix it. And some sellers, will fight us on it and say, well, what if the buyer doesn't get an inspection? That may be very well. But do you also want to sell a house knowing that, it's not fully, I guess, operable the way that you would want it to be? Just because you don't use that burner does not mean that the new buyers, are not really big cooks and they don't want to use it. So just think about it. Think about how you would feel if you are the buyer and if you're in their shoes. Like you want to make sure that, that's fixed and done.
Right. And the proactive approach of just going ahead and getting it done is, again, going to take away that stress of now it's something that you have to confront in the process later. And that could cause a delay and just like anxiousness for everybody. So yeah, proactiveness is always going to, I think, win.
Yeah, I agree.
And just like,
hey, this wasn't working, but we're going to get this fixed. And I feel like that gives buyers a peace of mind, especially if they're not getting an inspection.
Yeah.
It gives them peace of mind.
Right. Because, you may see that if there's a new HVAC, new water heater, new appliances, they might be like, well, we can go ahead and waive the inspection.
Right.
They might be good to go.
Yep.
And then you'll be like, oh, wow, this is great. Because you put in that extra work in the front. That's a greater reward when you can just get past that inspection.
Yeah, because those are big ticket items. And when buyers know they don't have to
those are things they're really checking for. So if they don't have to check for it, then
I'm like, hey, let's do it. Yeah. And then if you also know a buyer is not going to come in, or if you don't want to get those things fixed for whatever reason, offering upfront like a home warranty to buyers, like you're putting it in your listing, we're going to offer a 1-year home warranty. That will also help some buyers have peace of mind, where they may say, you know what, we won't even get an inspection because they offered a home warranty, meaning that it is covered. If something does happen within the first year, the sellers will make sure that it's covered and it's taken care of. So that's a really nice incentive for sellers
really
as well.
Yeah. Love when I see that.
I know.
I'm like, yeah,
we try to do that too. Well, and then I feel like sometimes it either, like, some sellers won't do it, but I think we try to do it even if the sellers don't agree. It's like, then we'll offer it because it
can really be such a nice, bonus and cherry on top. So
yep, I agree.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, well, I think
I love this.
I think that's it.
Yeah, this is like one of my favorite stories because this was needed. Okay, we have a lot of listings coming up, and I feel like this was very much needed to talk about. So I'm glad we kind of got it out. So,
yes.
Yeah. So thank you guys again for joining us for another episode. Please follow us, like, share. We are on every podcast platform, whichever is your favorite. Pick one. You can find us also on Instagram, TikTok, and if you have any questions or want to reach out, you know where to find us.